is a Bramble Jam podcast. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Hello!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, everybody.
Hey-o.
It's Bran.
It's Aaron.
It's Dan.
I was waiting for Dan to...
It's DCOM Descendants. It's great to be here today talking about another DCOM. An absolute classic.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Of course.
It's a classic today. We're talking
What?
Cadet Kelly.
Yeah, we are. I wish we'd save some reviews to read, but somebody suggested we read them all. Thanks,
And we had a
Bran.
great time doing that.
We did have a great time doing that. Yeah, that's true. But you can leave us a review if you want to. Let me go on to Spotify and see what we got going on
We're
there.
at 126. I just want to be very clear. We need 300 to keep doing this after the DCOMs
We're
are done.
almost halfway there.
Yeah.
We
that
still got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm just letting everybody know. I want to be very clear about the agreement that we made.
What was the agreement?
That if we didn't get to
300.
300, we'd stop.
Yeah,
when the
I think
DCOMs
we're
are done.
basically there.
Yeah.
What do you mean basically
We're
there?
like halfway there.
You're basically halfway would be 150.
Yeah, we're basically there. I don't understand
You're like 5/6 of being there.
No, like halfway.
5/6 of halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Halfway.
No. No.
3 right down the middle.
Right down the middle. Panda Princess 16 on Spotify in retaliation, in response.
It's not in retaliation.
There it is. In response.
It could be.
In response to the motocross episode, they're very upset that Andrea did not tackle Dean into the pool at the end of the movie. And
fair.
I don't really have a thought on that. I'll kick it to Aaron. You're saying it's fair?
I mean, I'm fine with the way the movie ended, but I see that point, and it would have been funny.
I mean, just think of the way they could have freeze framed it in that
Well, I
way.
mean,
freeze
she
frame.
tackled him when they went swimming earlier in the movie,
Yeah.
so it would just be like a callback.
Yeah, a call
Yeah.
she tackles him into the pool, freeze frame instead of freeze framing on the motocross
Oh,
court.
it's
Yeah.
called motocross.
On the motocross court. Yeah, it
On the
is.
court.
But think about
Is that what they're calling it these days?
that's what they're
I
calling
don't
it.
think so.
Okay.
Also, somebody left a review in Arabic and translating it to English, it says, "I love you, but my name is." And then
What?
it doesn't continue. And
My
I don't
name
know.
Who?
My name is Become Descendants. So thank you to whoever
Nice.
listens to this show and wanted to type something in Arabic.
No
I-
Cotton Eye Joe reviews, and I think I don't think
we
we
gotta
know
give
our
it time. I
audience.
mean, I know it seems like this is coming out 2 weeks after Cotton Eye Joe.
True.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, we maybe record
I
these.
have gotten to my personal DMs a Cotton Eye Joe reference. And I don't want to talk about it on this air, but I got one. I did get one.
on this air.
On the,
When
any
you
of the
talk
air.
about it on
I don't
any air?
want to
air.
talk about it on any air.
On this air.
Have you seen it too?
I saw it.
Yeah, we don't
I
want to talk.
saw it. It was
What?
gross. It was icky. I didn't like it. I guess it was some sort of group that my wife is also in with Aaron, and there was somebody shared a, as the kids call it, a meme.
Okay, is that
and
what the kids call
It was
it?
Cotton Eye Joe related, and it was filthy. It was disgusting.
That's funny.
Cotton Eye
He's
Joe,
funny.
he's a wily,
It's a funny bit.
he's a wily mother goose. That's what you need to know about him. That's what you need to know about.
Wily Mother Goose.
You know who else is a wily mother goose? Us, because it's time for Delish, and we're
Oh,
gonna
is
get
it that time already?
we're gonna get wily with it.
spell
Cadet
DCOM.
Kelly, a movie about going to military school, learning how to twirl guns, etc.
Yeah.
You might be wondering to yourself, if only there was a way to eat something, to drink something that would help make this movie an
Prep.
even better experience. What would it be? Luckily, we have Aaron, who has cracked the case wide open. Aaron, what shall we delish today?
What's up, you gooses?
Nailed it. I don't even think we need a second take. I think that's the one. I think that's the one.
So I put a lot of thought into this. I was trying to find like military themed desserts or cocktails, ribbon candy. I don't know. There was a lot going on.
Ribbon candy's not bad.
Yeah, but
Hard to find this time of year.
Yeah. So I was inspired by Kelly's love of accessorizing and holding on to her personality. And so I went to our local candy store and I
Yeah.
got a selection of candy necklaces for us. We have
And this is just perfect for
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
You know,
we
early
have a sour
2000s.
one. Right, like some candy
How do we
necklaces.
do that? How do we do this? Because those necklaces seem like
Yeah,
you
I want a sour one.
You gotta wear it the whole show and just nibble on it slowly. Put it on.
Okay. Yeah.
Put it on.
No problem.
Do you want?
Yeah, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
This is it. This flare fits me, man.
The width. See,
The length?
yeah.
What is going on?
It was harder than I remember it being.
Come on with this one.
It is
You
sour.
can just double it up on your wrist.
It is sour. I don't really like it though.
Of course you don't.
Yours isn't sour.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just Dan's.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Is there a brand of these?
This just says world's best.
Guys,
This is the world's best? You didn't lead with that?
I didn't know we got the world's best.
Man.
We did it. World's best candy necklace.
World's best candy necklace. God, you did it, gang.
Who
Yeah.
thought of this?
When I ran into the candy store, I did applaud and said, "You did it."
You did it.
World's best.
They're not going to believe it. They're not going to believe it.
Who thought of this for the first time? They were like, you know what, kids?
I don't know. I am excited about it.
You're not even wearing it.
Oh my God. You don't even have the flare on? How dare you?
I had it on, but it was getting in the way of me being able to eat it faster. So
No, that's the whole point, right?
It's not like, I mean, I guess it is convenient, but it doesn't make it easy, you know?
no. Sometimes, did you ever have the candy necklace where it had like the heart locket candy?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like a big.
That was a good one.
It was a big candy.
That was a big candy. You get one of those big candies.
Right. So you go to your local candy store, get some candy necklaces, maybe a ring pop.
Maybe.
You know?
Get crazy out there. We're going to get crazy too. I don't know. We're going to take a quick break.
All you
We're going to come
gooses out
back.
there.
All you mother gooses out there. We're going to come back. We're going to talk
Wild
Cadet
mother gooses.
Kelly. Cadet Kelly.
Woo! Let's go!
DCOM Descendants. That's the spirit, Dano.
Maybe we finally.
Welcome back, everybody, to DCOM Descendants. We're talking Cadet Kelly. Our first Hillary Duff movie.
That's right.
Dan has now been introduced to Hillary Duff.
Only the second Hillary Duff movie I've ever seen. Cheaper by the Dozen being the first one. She's not the lead nor the co-lead. Probably what? D on the call sheet?
How dare you?
No, yeah.
Unless it was.
Yeah,
D,
I was about
D-
to say. What do you mean?
Unless it was D
Probably
for
D.
Duff.
D for Duff. Yeah. D, I think, is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, she's four. Four on that call sheet.
Where's Allison Stoner on that?
I'm sorry. She's above Hillary Duff for sure.
Allison Stoner's above.
Then she ain't D on the call sheet anymore.
Not from like a star.
I mean,
stardom.
Steve Martin,
Not at that point.
Bonnie Hunt, Tom Welling was what I was thinking, but
I just think that
Allison Stoner was
Piper
not a bigger
Perabo?
star.
No, but I think in that movie, I think Allison Stoner's character is more involved in the hijinks.
to be
She
fair,
is.
on IMDb, she's third listed, so maybe C. But I mean, I was assuming Tom Welling at that time was.
Well, Ashton
C.
Kutcher's also in the movie.
Oh my God.
He doesn't
yeah.
really do anything, but he's in it.
Yeah, Duff is definitely not the lead of that movie. Not even a co-lead.
No.
So I've really never seen a Hillary Duff vehicle.
So you claim you haven't seen Casper Meets Wendy, but
I what do you mean I claim I haven't?
I think
Why would I be lying? Why would I lie about that?
See, you ask that question a lot, and it's something like I wonder all the time: is why would you lie about it? But it's a continual thing.
Do
that
I
you
have a history of lying about random things like this?
I've been meaning to talk to you about it. it's tough out there. It's tough out there.
yeah.
Cadet Kelly.
I mean, when I was dog sitting, I did see his shelf of Hillary Duff DVDs.
It's nonstop. He has 10 to 12 copies of Casper Meets Wendy.
10 to
It's
12?
just one shelf. It's
I have
just 12
11. I have 11 copies.
Yeah,
It's 10
11
to
copies
12.
of
Yes.
Casper,
I'd
which
prefer you say 10 to 12.
You can't find that DVD. You can't find that movie anywhere.
That's because
and
I
it's-
bought them all, B.
Every time one becomes available on eBay, he
Just a little candy in your beard for later.
good stuff. March 8th, 2002 is when this movie premiered. So they didn't do one in February of 2002, for what that's worth.
Holding out for the big guns.
Directed by Larry
They
Shaw.
had a Valentine's comedy with Brad, and they cut it.
Oh, Brad.
It was not safe for children.
Psycho.
Directed by Larry
runs a
Shaw.
hotel.
Larry Shaw has directed some Desperate Housewives, some Star
Yeah.
Trek Next Generation, some X-Files,
Ooh.
and some Lizzie McGuire, which he had directed. He directed Lizzie McGuire before he directed Cadet Kelly.
So Lizzie McGuire was out before Cadet Kelly. This is a real question. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
2001, yes. 2001 was when Lizzie McGuire
So
started.
this
or was it
movie
2000?
had some juice behind it.
Yeah, between Hillary Duff and Christy Carlson, it is the equivalent of Three Wise Men and a Baby on Hallmark Channel. It's
Wow.
like these are the stars right now.
Okay.
Right?
This
Hillary
makes
Duff and Christy Carlson Romano is as big as it
You're doing a
gets.
crossover of Even Stevens and Lizzie McGuire.
This makes a ton of sense now as to why this movie's so beloved is if you
Yes.
add those things together. Okay. So
Yes.
this was
Yeah.
very highly anticipated.
Highly anticipated. As mentioned, starring Hillary Duff, Christy Carlson Romano, although she goes by Christy Romano in this one, dropped to Carlson. And Gary Cole is also in this movie. Shall we dive in?
Please.
Guys, Kelly's an artist. She is a free spirit. She's an animal activist.
In
like
Manhattan.
And Manhattan.
Yeah.
And much like her dad in all of those ways, is just kind of like, she's free. She just wants to go to her art school and have a good time and hang out with her friends and all that good stuff. But their parents are divorced, and her mom is in love with General Joe Maxwell,
General Joe,
who is a general in
retired Special Forces Army Ranger.
Yes. And
Standard.
the total.
He was the first American to be a part of all branches of the armed
yeah,
services.
he did it all.
He's highly decorated, and I mean freaking highly.
Yeah, he has lots of decorations on his uniform.
Yeah.
And he's the total opposite of Kelly's dad in basically every way. You guys just nibbling on your candies.
What do you want from me? You give me a candy necklace. What do you want me to do?
It's really nice.
Not eat the candy necklace?
No, I really like it.
Just wear it?
One day, her mom drops a bomb. Not like the army bomb, but like the information
Thank
bomb.
God for the troops, am I right?
What a way to say that.
Her mom.
Yes, drops a bomb, and
bomb.
learned quickly from General Joe. And not only is she going to get married to Joe very quickly, but they are moving upstate
Where there's no takeout.
where there's no
The
takeout.
more I think about this movie, and I know we're
The more
very
you
early
love
in
it?
this.
We're fine.
The more I think about this movie, the more I realize that the big tentpole things that are going to affect the child are just glossed over entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mom is remarrying, we are moving, having new baby.
She's so cool.
it is just a
Cadet
minor
Kelly-
blip on Kelly's radar.
No, a couple years prior, her parents had friends who ended up leaving Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, this is how you need to drop news on your young child. You just tell them.
But like, these are major life events. You're going to have a sibling that's a half sibling. You're going to move to a place you've never been.
Listen.
Your mom, you're going to have a stepdad. These are like, it's hardly even registered.
For normal kids, Dan, a divorce, a remarriage, married,
a remarriage.
a move, it'd be too much. Not for Kelly. Not for Kelly. Kelly is cool, calm, collected.
Cool, calm,
And
collected.
Kelly knows that she's the one keeping her whole family together.
She has to do everything.
Yeah.
She has to do everything. But she is not thrilled when she finds out that not only are they moving to the upstate of South Carolina, they are moving, and she's going to be going to the dreaded military school.
Why? Because I guess she has to.
Yeah, she's upset.
Are there other schools in the area? Because there's
No.
required to be public
No.
schools in the area. Yes. Is she going there because her
There's
new
no
stepdad?
takeout, no public school.
There's no public school in upstate New York.
None.
This is
Not
just
a
maybe
single
just taking
one.
a crap on upstate New York. It is just like
Yeah.
you are in the boonies up there,
Mm-hmm.
the Catskills.
It's tough. It's tough. She is like upset, but compared to like other teenagers that would get all this news, again, super chill, not a big deal. She walks into the girls' housing dorm. I don't know what to call it.
Probably like the barracks.
The barracks.
Barracks, I think, is a great
And
answer. Number one on the board, I would
that's
say.
right. Number
We were
one.
checking.
What would
Number
you
one on the board.
call at military school? What would you call the dorms? Number one answer. And the other girls immediately start talking and like snickering, like, "Oh my gosh, she's not in uniform, but she like just got there." It's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all annoyed. Like they're all making fun of her because she's clearly not in uniform. But it's like, where was she supposed to pick that up? Like at the front gate? Like where do you get one?
Also, there's a welcome back dance we've not talked about yet, which we will. So it's not like she shows up in the middle of the year. She's showing up at the beginning of school.
Yeah.
So
Welcome
wouldn't they
back.
have issued her this stuff?
You would think so.
It's not important.
It's not important.
And her parents, who have uprooted her entire life and moved her here, they bring her, right? They drop her off on the first
Yeah.
day?
Yes.
I would assume so. Yes.
Oh, I was doing a bit because no, they don't.
Oh, what do they do?
They're not there. She walks across. She lugs that whole thing up the drive.
They like
They're,
say,
like, at
"Hey,
the house.
skedaddle."
But he's
They're at
working
the
there.
house. Yeah, but they don't nobody knows that.
How much do you hate your kid to have a house, what I assume is right down the road from the barracks, and be like, no, you got to go there.
Get out
Your
of here.
kid's done nothing wrong. They have no disciplinary action against them. You're just doing it because F you, basically.
Like, if
Mainly.
your stepdad was the commandant of the school, couldn't you go just for the academics
Yeah, exactly.
and skip the
This
drill
movie,
stuff?
look, we're going to get there. This movie
I don't know how military
presents
school works.
quite the hurdle of suspension of disbelief for you at the beginning, more than most DCOMs. Back to you, Bram.
Thank you. Now, you might be wondering, what are these girls talking about? Are they talking about, how excited they are for the school year? Are they talking about, how they can't wait to learn all the drills or whatever? No, they're talking about Major Brad. Immediately, what you need to know is girls don't talk about anything other than Major Brad.
The cutest boy alive.
He's the cutest boy alive in this particular universe.
Turns out he's an adult. So
He's the
that.
cutest grown man alive. She meets a new friend, though. She sleeps in the bed right next to her. Her name is Carla. And Carla's very kind and understanding that, unlike everybody else, they don't understand the fact that Kelly just got there and she's never done this before. But Kelly is off to a very rocky start after meeting Cadet Captain Jennifer Stone. Jennifer Stone is very, very serious, as her name implies. Her name is Jennifer Stone. And
What's her name?
Jennifer Stone. It's Jennifer Stone. How you doing, Dano?
Doing great, man. I figured I'd just keep it here.
You look like a walrus.
Hello.
That's fun.
We're all having fun here.
We're all having
Fun.
fun. So Jennifer Stone
You can watch this
is
for free on YouTube?
for free.
Get the hell out of here.
For free.
Unbelievable.
We might have to charge for this episode.
yeah.
Man, wait till he starts spitting on stuff. It's gonna get crazy.
It's going to be awesome.
I'm surprised for Disless or for the Delish you didn't
Disless?
just bring a bowl of spit and said Delish.
Huh?
We'll get to that in a minute.
We're all
everybody.
going
It's all
to
gonna make
switch
sense.
candy necklaces. We're going to pass to the left.
That's right. Jennifer Stone is very
Jennifer
strict.
Stone.
She's very intense.
Stone.
And she immediately starts giving Kelly a hard time.
Calling her maggot.
Calling her lots of maggots.
Lots of maggots.
speak in this one. Kelly,
maggot
though.
hat on. It's red, white letters.
That's exactly right, Dano. If we had, I think the DCOM Descendants merch store is going to come out eventually. A
Yeah.
maggot hat is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, I don't
not a good
think. No, but we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how November plays out, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So
I can make a sticker
okay,
if that's cheaper than a full hat.
sure. We'll just put it on the hat.
Yeah.
So
It'll be. Well, I was thinking it would be like a sticker of a red hat that said maggot.
okay, great. Let's see how it looks in sticker form first. That's how all good hat design starts. with
Stickers. That's right. Yes.
That's exactly right. You see how it kind of works. So Kelly does start to take a liking to saluting. She really gets into that first. And she's also excited when she finds out about, as Dan mentioned, the Welcome Back dance, a dance that happens presumably
welcome
at the
everyone
beginning of
back,
the school
yes.
year to welcome back. And she helps
At the
Carla.
Co-ed Military Academy in upstate New York where no public schools are available.
That's
yes.
right. And she helps Carla.
Or takeout.
Or takeout. Again, I keep you forgetting the takeout. Carla doesn't have a dress, and she's like, Carla, come to my house. I've got all the dresses. I'm an artist.
Yes.
So it's the day of the Welcome Back dance, and Kelly is having a very tough time with the obstacle course. Doing all the things. No one showed her how to do it. She doesn't know how to do it. Jennifer is like, hey, maggot, get down here, come down the wall, and it's like, whatever. She takes a long time. She finally does rappel, despite never rappelling before, and she tells her that she has to run this course until she gets it right. So-and-so is going to stay. I don't remember what her name is.
Amy
but
Garcia.
Amy Garcia is going to stay and make sure that you get it right. And it starts to rain. It gets messy. And finally, Amy Garcia's character finally is like, let me show you how to do this thing. And they bond a little bit. And she's like, you're good to go to the Welcome Back dance. She's so excited, but it's raining. It's slippery. She rolls down a hill.
Yeah.
Still in all
What
of
you
her.
need to know about Kelly is she's an
yeah.
artist, but she is clumsy.
Clumsy.
She's
Yeah.
clumsy.
So she trips
Yeah.
and falls and rolls down the hill into the open door, and
You did. Sometimes it
Once you
happens.
start rolling,
There's
then you
nothing
can't
do.
stop.
And
then
then
you start
she's
walking.
running.
I mean, the
Yeah.
gravity takes over and it's out of your hands.
And she goes through the door and runs
Well, she's sliding.
into
She's sliding.
Ms. Romano, Jennifer Stone.
Jennifer Stone, which ruins Jennifer's dress. She's very upset about it. How dare you? And so she's pretty miserable at this point. She feels like no one likes her. She feels like Jennifer Stone is out to get her and all of this good stuff. And she wants to tell her mom how she's really feeling. She wants to tell her mom, hey, Mom, I don't want to be here anymore. But when she goes to tell her mom that she doesn't want to be at the military school anymore, Mom says, hey, guess what? We're having a baby. And since Kelly has to basically do everything herself, she feels like she can't bring down the mood, and so she has to.
Kelly's
We have
gonna
to
be-
raise this baby in a positive environment.
Kelly's going to
so-
be in therapy a long time. This is not healthy. They don't ever let her react to any giant life change she's facing as an adolescent.
Yes.
Pretty terrible.
So things are already tough for her, but it goes from bad to worse when Jennifer rips up Kelly's blankie during an inspection, and she's so mad, and she feels like Jennifer's just trying to get her back for the whole dress fiasco at the welcome back dance. And so Kelly says, all right, game set match. I don't
Game
know
on.
the term, but game on.
on.
No,
That's
she
exactly
said
right.
game set match.
She said her blanket was ripped, and she was like, game, set, match.
Game set match. That's exactly
You've
right.
defeated me. There's nothing I can do. It's
Yes,
game,
but
set, match.
also a new game set match is about to
All
happen.
right, game set match here. New
But
game.
new game.
I'm
set,
about
and
to.
match.
I'm about to match your match.
Set. You get ready, get set, game, set, match.
That's right. She paints.
It was a real confusing scene for all of us, but we got there.
Yeah, I didn't write it. She paints Jennifer's hair because she's an artist. I mean, I don't know like how she was expecting not to get caught. Like she's the only artist there, and she makes it known that she's an artist. But either way, she ends up getting court-martialed for this little prank. And court-martialed is a court that is led by the cadets.
Marshall.
Named Marshall. All of the
They're
the
all
whole,
like, all right, Marshall, welcome to my court.
the jury is all people named Marshall.
And when if they don't have anyone named Marshall, what do they call the court?
Whatever the predominant name is.
Court
on.
Darren. There's been a lot of Court Darrens
Yeah,
out
there
there.
has. Yeah.
Being Court Darren.
Court Gary? That's
No,
tough.
we would never.
No. There's never enough Garys. This happens, gets court-martialed. She's like, there's no way I'm going to be guilty. She is guilty. You might think that the cadets then are in charge of
The consequence.
consequence,
No.
but it's not. It goes
straight to Gary Cole.
Stepdad
yes.
Joe. Stepdad Joe.
Stepdad Joe.
Who has
Sir.
to sentence her. Sir.
Related to Cotton Eye Joe.
That's exactly right. He came to town. He found this woman, and she left with him to go to upstate.
That's true.
Is he Cotton Eye Joe?
He took 2 women with
Down
him.
at the beach, Cotton Eye Joe.
Down at the beach, Cotton Eye Joe.
He went to New York. He took 2 women.
I've
you go.
seen that. I've seen this before, Joe. I know about this life. I see that. I've listened to the song. He sentences her to become the equipment manager for the drill team. So you got to go, polish shoes, play with guns, make sure the guns are clean and whatnot. And she goes, and that's when she begins to have some conversations with Brad. Brad shows her the proper way to shine a shoe, which is not with polish, it's with good old-fashioned spit.
No,
The
thank
old
you.
spit shine.
Shows her the proper
No.
spitting technique.
That's right. He does.
And
True story.
there's that.
We all
And-
threw up while we watched.
23-year-old showing 15-year-old the spit technique.
That's exactly right. And she then goes out. She sees the team compete in a friendly against.
This movie is for children.
Yeah. They compete
Brian
in
loves it.
Brian's a big fan.
they compete in a friendly competition against Raw Paw
Brad's
or
number
whatever
one
it
fan.
is. What is
Raw-
it?
It's
Rawway?
Rawway.
Hoorah.
And
Hoorah way.
Rawway.
Kelly is immediately taken by the art
Yeah. And who wouldn't be?
of the twirling.
We're
of
halfway
guts.
through the movie. Why not
I
make it
mean-
a sports movie?
Yeah, when Rawway is competing, it is a bit mesmerizing. Like,
You said that this movie was the reason why you joined Color Guard.
yes.
There you go.
Ever since I saw this movie when I was 11 and 12, like I was 11 when it came out. Yeah, I just wanted to do that. And so I signed up for my high school's color guard. We never got to use rifles because it wasn't that kind of high school, but we did flags and such. Thanks.
It should go
Kelly.
It was a normal public high school
It was, yeah, we had
that would
public.
have existed in upstate New York.
We
as well.
had public high school and takeout.
Yeah, wow.
So
My public high school had the rifles.
They had
for
ROTC, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, we didn't have ROTC.
Oh yeah, it was serious stuff. You hear them throwing their guns around all over campus.
So I say we didn't have ROTC. We might have, and I just wasn't aware.
Yeah.
I don't think we had ROTC. But anyone from Milford High School, don't come at
Shout
me.
out.
No, come at her.
They're out of the
Come at her.
woodworks.
Tell her.
Aaron, we're disowning Aaron Shea. She thinks she's a Milford grad? F out of here,
Get
Shea.
out of here. You don't know squat.
ROTC class of 99.
Well, I wasn't there then. So.
You don't
Still what? You
Aaron
don't know.
Shea doesn't support the troops.
That's what I'm hearing.
Doesn't even acknowledge their existence.
I think what she said is she doesn't know if there was ROTC, but she also doesn't give a squat. I
Yeah.
think is what she said.
If they existed, she could not care less.
It's brutal. Dana, we support
Aaron hates the
ROTC.
troops, starting with the junior troops, all the way up.
But Aaron does love the Christmas card on Hallmark.
That's exactly right, and that's all
So,
that matters.
that's all that
makes everything is made up for when it comes to the Christmas card. So she watches this, and they don't win, and Spit Boy,
Which is just a huge loss in this competition of two.
yes,
It was a friendly. It was a friendly.
it was a friendly.
Little scrimmage.
Spit Boy Brad is like, guys, we need to
Be
get
more creative.
We have to figure out a way to make this really something special. And Kelly's like, you know who's creative? Me. I don't want to be here in the first place. I want to be in art school. So she decides that she would like to learn how to do that. And also she sees Jennifer practicing her.
Yeah. Well, she trains.
There's a portion of the drill that is like a step thing called
Yes.
unarming.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Amy Garcia teaches her how to do the gun thing,
Yeah,
and then she sees
she makes
Jennifer.
the team.
Yes. Then she sees Jennifer doing the step moves, and she just walks over and starts copying
her.
Jennifer. They get into a little bit of a step off. They're doing some creative moves here, folks.
It's fun.
And
Brad.
after
Brad,
yeah,
who's watching very intently.
Yeah.
Brad and Amy are practicing. Brad sees Jennifer Stone and Kelly practicing, tosses his gun to Amy so he can full attention on the girls dancing.
He does full attention. Watch them dance.
Yep.
And it's tough. We do only get, I think it's shoulders up for Brad when he's watching, so we don't know what's going on.
Did we skip before Kelly joins the team? Is that when she does the private dance for Brad?
Yeah, that's like
Brad does get a private dance.
Yeah.
out of
When
the
they
deal.
lose to Rawway, he's upset in the locker room, and so she's not on the team
She's like,
yet.
"What if I gave you a private
She
dance?"
hasn't learned how to do the drill team part. So she just grabs a rifle and makes up
Yeah.
a little dance for
She's
him.
like, see, I'm creative.
But they're the only two in the locker room, and it does cheer him way up, and it's weird.
It does, and it is weird.
Brad.
So she goes and she is like, "Hey Jennifer, I want to be your partner with the steps." And Jennifer is like, "Okay, all right."
What's
Yeah.
what's Kelly's biological dad? What's he up
Thank
to?
you for asking. He
Brand?
is
Haven't seen him in a minute.
in the jungle for
which
a while.
one?
The one.
The jungle.
Oh, sorry, the jungle.
The jungle. And he does come back stateside. He comes to upstate. He comes over for dinner and he lets him know, hey, I'm going to be around more. And I also can't wait to come and see you perform at regionals. And she is so happy to see her dad, giving him lots of hugs. And
Joe is taking copious notes.
Joe is like, every
Should
time.
hug daughter.
Every time I
Interesting.
talk to her, we end with a handshake. Seems like maybe there's more to father-daughter relationships and handshakes.
I have heard that there's got to be more to life.
Oh my goodness, you said it. You satisfy me. Stacey Rico, shut up. So it's the day of the competition.
Yep.
It's regionals apparently, and. First they do like hey, who's the president of the United States?
You know, the quiz portion
They
of the
do
drill.
a very
Yes.
intense
quizzing.
trivia round.
Yes.
And it's fun for everyone.
And they are like, hey, we got to lock in. We got to be focused because it's almost time for us to twirl the guns. And Kelly gets a phone call from her dad. It rings and everybody's like, you turn your phone off. And she's like, it was my dad. But dad, like when she answers the phone, dad doesn't say anything.
And then the line goes dead.
And she is now thinking that something must be terribly wrong.
Because he pinky promised he would be here.
And you don't
do that.
You don't break a pinky promise, even if your pinky's broken. And
pinky's broken, but not the promise.
That's exactly right.
God.
The solidified.
Nope.
The pinkies. What's up with the pinky doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to say. Whether it's solid or
God
not.
Almighty.
Well, now it got weird.
God Almighty. Brand.
Are you Brad?
The solidity. The solemnity.
I don't even know what you're trying to say.
Whether or not a pinky is broken or not. If it's solid, like the bone is solid, or it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the promise.
Thoughts and views of Brandon Gray don't represent
we can move on. He pinky promised. He's not there, so she's worried.
She's worried.
You don't agree with that, Dan?
No, I think that's all above board.
Okay, because you just said the
So
thoughts and views of
everyone's
Brandon
getting
Gray.
ready for the drill portion of this competition. Major General stepdad Joe comes over and he's like, Kelly, what's going on? And she's like, I'm fine. And he's like, I can tell. I'm good at reading emotions. There are tears pouring down your face.
It doesn't seem like you're fine.
And some grade A acting from Hilary Duff in this scene, because it was working for me. Like, I did get a little emotional as she is trying. She knows.
And she's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not cadet.
He's like, do you want to go look for your dad? And she's like, no, I will not let this team down. I will not let you down. Like, I need to be here. I'm just worried. And I thought it was a great scene.
It was a beautiful scene. And so
Dan has no heart.
Dan,
I didn't even comment on the scene. What are you talking about?
Did you tear up?
It was not my favorite scene.
Okay. There it is. So she, after a little bit of nudging
like
from
shots
Joe,
fired for no reason. There's all I'm saying. I was respectfully being quiet.
Yeah, we know what
I
that
wasn't
means.
going to yuck your yum. It worked for you. I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay. All right.
Well, I saw your eyes.
Silence is violence.
Like Major General Stepdad Joe, I can read emotions, and I saw your eyes, and I said he didn't like that.
Silence is violence, Dan.
Why? Whoa.
God Almighty.
That was a big step, and I didn't take that step.
No, I just.
You don't agree? Dan not saying something is the same as saying everything.
That's in this case. That when it comes to opinions on movies, that is not correct.
Okay, well,
when it comes to
you just proved otherwise, Dano.
If
and I would like to say I love the troops.
If Aaron had spouted off some like Nazi rhetoric, and I had been like, I'm not going to say anything here, then you would be correct. But if her saying that scene really worked for me, and in my head. It didn't. Tears weren't streaming down her face.
Dan,
there were no tears on her face.
That was just a nice.
Dan,
I had nothing nice to say, so I didn't say anything.
Dan, you not being moved by that scene is about as offensive as it gets, and I'll say that. I'll say that.
Well,
Aaron's with me. Aaron's with me.
You got it.
So they go to where he was supposed to be going, which is the mountain. He was going to go take pictures of the mountain. And so they go there. He's nowhere to be found except for his camera bag. She looks over the ledge and sees that her dad has fallen, and he's not moving. He has fallen, and he can't get up. And luckily, Joe brought rope for rappelling rope, and luckily Kelly now knows how to rappel because of earlier in the movie. And so when he's like, you can't do it, and she's like, watch me. She rappels down, rope's not long enough, has to jump down.
Watch me.
And dad comes to and is like, hey, Kel. And then they call Army. Army comes and they rescue him. They bring him up.
The rescue squad.
Yes. They make it back. She does miss the twirl competition, but she makes it back for the step competition.
Now, did they give her team a heads up that they were leaving?
They didn't.
They did not. So the team is getting ready to compete, and they're like, guess who's missing? And then I think like a section of the team has to stand down because then the numbers would be off. So they're all upset. They're 5 points behind Broadway.
But she does make it back for step competition. She tells Joe is like, she was gone and it was okay with me, which is all they needed.
I would have been like, I saved a life.
Yeah.
And they don't bring that up, and I would have been telling everyone.
Two things are true here that they don't bring up. One is what she did was more important, but also she did cost them. Both of those things are true. What Kelly did was more important, and they didn't bring it up. And she cost him the trophy.
We don't know that yet. They're only 5 points
We don't know
back.
that yet.
But we know. Okay, whatever. Well, I'll save it.
We don't know it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Save it.
Spoilers.
We don't know
Save it.
It's time for the step competition. They play Super Chick again. Same song as the beginning of the movie. And Aaron and I couldn't have been happier
Very
about
excited.
it. It's a one-girl revolution.
Totally
and
cool if you stand behind
It's
this
a
movie.
one-girl revolution twice.
Yeah.
It's a
twice
just a
girl
quick
revolution.
timeout. Totally cool if you still think this movie holds up. I really am. You guys still think the song holds up? Be honest.
1,000%.
Oh my gosh, that song is trash.
I'm already planning on listening to Super Chick on the way
That
home.
song is trash.
I don't know anything else that band has ever done. But
Oh my
when I
God.
hear that song, I think of the routine at the end, and I just think it's fun.
Song's embarrassly bad. Like
I will
cringe
go.
chills.
I
bad.
will. I'm open to learning. I will go read the lyrics and report back.
Okay,
I'm the shot, heard, bang around the world.
shot her bang.
They do a step routine complete with ribbons, which is new to
Army?
the step community. They weren't aware that you could do ribbons, and so they were pretty blown away by that. And so it gets to when they're going to announce who won, and it all comes down to 1 point is separating first place from second place, and you think that they're going to give it to old George Washington there, but they do not. Raha.
Yes.
Rahway
wins
Raga.
by 1 point. Exactly right.
Same time this week.
They win by 1
Second time
point.
this week. Sorry. Go ahead.
1 point, and they're silver. Jennifer tells Kelly that she's not going to be around next year because she's getting transferred to
Kelly's
Europe.
all excited. She's like, man, we were so close. Next
year's our year.
Even better.
That's right. But she says, no, pump the brakes. I'm not going to be here, but I'm going to recommend that you be platoon leader. And Kelly's
That
like,
way you deal with maggots too.
that's exactly right. And Kelly could not be happier to have found a home at military school, and that was Cadet Kelly. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down a little bit more, share our thoughts, put on list and stuff here on DCOM Descendants. Fine,
DCOM
guys.
Descendants.
Come it. Welcome back.
DCOM Descendants.
Thank you. We're talking Cadet Kelly today. It is time for the overtime part of the show. We're talking about how this movie aged over time. To help paint that picture, I have some reviews from Letterboxd of
Thank
people that have
goodness.
watched this
Oof,
movie
the
as
good
well.
stuff.
Rachel says 2 stars, but does say Cadet Kelly with a bunch of greater than signs, Saving Private Ryan.
So Saving Private Ryan's 1 star.
I guess so. Rossi says 2.5 stars. Saving Private Ryan where? The Hurt Locker what? American Sniper whom? Mikey V says 3.5 stars. I would have killed myself. SB says all the conversation scenes are framed as if everyone and anyone is about to kiss. Carrie says 2 stars, another missed gay opportunity for Disney Channel. Logan Van Winkle says 2 stars. This was post 9/11 propaganda. Pilot says, really wish there was a sequel where Hillary Duff goes to Iraq. Cindy says 3 stars. Very perplexed how this is simultaneously military propaganda and incredibly gay. And Abby says 3.5 stars. I don't know why Disney Channel bothered making any more Marvel movies, or Disney bothered making any more Marvel movies when they made the best propaganda that military could ask for back in 2002.
Yeah.
And it's time for us to share how we felt like this movie aged over time. Aaron, you and I had both seen it many times.
Yeah.
Dan, you had not. Apparently, you had never seen
I
a
think this is one of the
Hillary Duff
DCOMs that
movie.
I own.
What'd you think, Aaron, now that you watched it in 2024?
I would just like to say that as for military propaganda, the only thing that this movie ever inspired me to do was to join Color Guard. No part of me ever thought that it made the military look cool. So
Really?
it didn't work for me. No, even watching it now, I was like, yeah, cool, military sucks. They're not creative.
Aaron really does hate the troops, guys. No
Someone
ROTC.
take that clip of Aaron
Yeah.
saying the military sucks, they're not creative.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. Well, she learned to not be creative by the end, so that was cool.
Yeah.
She brought her own flair to it. Yeah, this movie still, for the most part, worked for me. I would love a version where we cut out Brad.
Yeah.
Because his lines and his actions just feel a little different when you realize like he is older, he is in a position of power over these young girls, and then he says things like, "You like to get down and dirty," spits on their shoes, lets her do a private dance, like.
Yeah.
And granted, it's all like her actions are all above board, but it's like the looks on his face, like we could just cut Brad out, get this back down to like an hour 20.
There it is. Yep.
And then it would be great. But Kelly was a
so hard.
You decided. You
guys.
How hard can I crank on this candy necklace? What can I do? What can I get?
Hey, guys.
Can I get it to 100 audibles? What can I do here?
You guys all got to eat a little bit throughout. I felt like I was reading a lot, and I got to make up for lost time.
Let me wait till Aaron gets mid-opinion, till it gets really real.
All right,
and then
Aaron.
let me just crack a tooth. Let me chip a molar on this mofo. Let me absolutely go to work.
And that's
on
why
some
he's
candy.
the head Mother Goose over there.
I'm the head Mother Goose. I'm sorry. Continue.
Okay.
If you suck on them for a while, they become softer.
We're gonna have to charge for this episode. But yeah, watching this movie.
I'm just happy for once it wasn't me. You know, I'm happy that finally Lee has something of Dan's that he can take, and it's fun.
Wow, this audience of one is really loving this episode.
Yeah.
Talking about the Lord?
Amen.
No, I was talking about Brian laughing in the other
okay.
room.
Every episode's an audience of one. You know what I mean? Amen.
Amen.
We already did that bit.
We already did it.
Yeah, I love this movie. I loved it back then. I loved Lizzie McGuire. Seeing her in this movie, the drill team segments, still a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I think if we just cut Brad out and make this more about figuring out who she is as a person, watching her form these friendships and relationships with the other women on her squad, that would have been a movie. We didn't need Brad to be there at all. And Hillary also gave a better performance than I remembered. You know, there was some definitely like real emotion there, watching her try to like, as a 13-year-old girl, have these emotions, but also feel like I need to be strong for my family. Like I thought it was great. I love this movie. Still a 10 out of 10 for me.
You know what's crazy about this candy is it's not good, but
you
there's
just
something
keep
about
eating
it
it.
being a bracelet or a necklace that's like, oh, I guess I should just keep eating it.
Yeah, I ate my whole necklace. Like it's gone.
I've eaten half of this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just here. It's here.
just half.
That's the thing is it's like, especially when it's like around your neck, like it's right there.
It's right there.
What are you
It's
gonna do?
That's right,
It's right
yeah.
in front of me. This movie freaking rules. It's awesome. I thought that it was awesome. I was very nervous, Aaron, going into this. I
know.
Because I was like, is it going to be as good as I remember it being?
But Hillary
And
would never let us down
Hillary's
like
never let us down.
Not once.
And Hillary we trust. And
Amen.
this movie rules. Listen, the step dance at the end is as ridiculous as I remember it being, and that the world is better for it. I absolutely love this movie, and it is long. It's an hour and 40, but dadgummit if it didn't feel like an hour and 20. This movie flew.
Had a great time.
This movie flew by as a normal DCOM, despite the extra length. But I'm glad that it was longer because the power of Duff and Romano are too much to handle in an hour 20. We needed that extra 20. It worked. It hit. It slapped. This movie rules. Dano?
All right, it's time for me to make my list. We don't need Dan's opinion on this movie.
Listen, this is a tough one because I do think this movie is aspiring to greatness. Like, I think it has very lofty aspirations and expectations. I think it has a high level of star wattage, and it has this dream of being a movie that's a catch-all DCOM with its biggest stars on its biggest stage doing the biggest thing they know how to do.
This movie not only aired on Disney, it did air as part of the Wonderful World of Disney too.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone saw this movie.
It's very clear they put a lot behind this movie. Does it always work? No, it doesn't. I think there are long stretches where it flat doesn't work. the fact that she's at this school, they never allow me to buy into why she's there or why she stays. That doesn't work at all for me. They did not give me a reasonable reason for her to be there. You know what does work? Hilary Duff, Christy Carlson Romano, Gary Cole. They work. There is not a single scene in this movie as authentic as the father-son scene in Brink. Not a single one. For me, for my money. The father-son scene in Brink in the garage is as good as these scenes get. Now, this movie, that movie has a 4 out of 10 degree of difficulty, and it scores it across. It's a 10 of 10 of a 4 of 10. This movie has a way higher degree of difficulty because it's trying to do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Does it always hit with the drill stuff?
Yep.
No. Does it always hit with why she's there?
Yep.
No, it doesn't. But does it hit with Brad? No, it doesn't. But are there enough scenes?
Brad wishes it did.
With Hilary Duff and Kristen Carlson Romano, were there enough scenes where Gary Cole gets to be won over as a stepdad who really does love this kid? Yeah, I think it does. It has hopes and dreams of being this all-star iconic DCOM, and I don't think it gets there, but I love the attempt, and there are things about it that did work, and it is too long, but it doesn't feel as long as some 80-minute DCOMs. So I get it. I get why people loved it when they were 10 years old. It's not for me, but I didn't hate it, and I also think that the actors elevate it more than you could reasonably ask anyone. Like, if this movie was an all dudes military academy and it was the Lawrence brothers in these roles, people like Joey Lawrence was Gary Cole, Andy Lawrence was Hilary Duff. Like, you would just be like, oh my gosh, I hate this movie so very much.
That wasn't what I was thinking at all.
You would hate. You would
awesome.
if the middle Lawrence brother was the Christy Carlson Romano role, Andy Lawrence was the Hilary Duff role, and Joey Lawrence was the dad character. You guys would be like, this is 20 out of 40.
That movie.
That's what it would be.
That movie would be an hour and 20 minutes, and it would be like 100 minutes of just hijinks.
Yes.
Like
it would not work at all. And to be fair, and I will say this, my complaint about this movie, I think this movie and the creators of it would acknowledge and just be like, we don't care. Like, yeah, she's at a military school. Get over it. Yeah, her mom decided to get married, have a kid, moved to upstate New York and not tell her. Just get over it. So like, the movie is setting its sights on something bigger, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's where I am with it.
It's time to make the list.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's time to make the list.
You're going to hate my list.
I don't know. I mean, I had to do a lot of thinking about where I still am not, I don't know what to do with this movie list-wise. I don't. I'm going to be very clear. But,
well, you got, 3 minutes.
I know, I've got it on there.
Oh, okay, great. It's time to make our list. Aaron, where you got this movie?
This movie is going to debut in my top 10.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I thought about it, and I would choose to watch this movie over most other DCOMs. So it's pretty high on my list.
Okay.
So number 10, 'Twas the Night.
What got kicked out?
Quince.
Quince is gone.
Rest
got
in
it.
peace,
Quince is
obviously.
gone.
Yes.
R.I.P.
Is Quince officially out of all of our lists?
No,
No, it's still hanging on.
it's on my list.
Yeah. Number 9, Phantom of the Megaplex. Number 8, Xenon. 7, Halloween Town. 6, Luck of the Irish. 5, Smart House. 4, Miracle on Lane 2.
Wow.
3, Johnny Tsunami.
Good God.
2, Cadet Kelly. And 1, Motocrossed.
What a time.
What a time. It's also debuting in my top 10.
Yours is at 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love me some Hilary Duff, some Drill Team.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's quirky. She's great.
She's quirky. Number 10, Jet Jackson movie. Number 9, Double Teamed. Number 8, Phantom of the Megaplex. Number 7, Mom's Got a Date. Number 6, Luck of the Irish. 5, Smart House. 4, Cadet Kelly. 3, Motocross. 2, Johnny Tsunami. And number 1, the greatest movie of all time, Brink.
Cadet Kelly is in my top 10.
Whoa!
I think that it's a movie that if you use the would I watch it again metric, I'm happy where this movie is. If you use the how much of the movie did it get right or was it really great, I think it's too high on my list.
The would I watch it again is my tiebreaker.
Yeah. So for me, I think well, I'll just go with my list. The movie that got kicked out was 'Twas the Night, which, you know, is what it is. 10, Smart House. 9, Quince.
All right,
8,
hang in there.
Brink. 7, Miracle in Lane 2. 6, Cadet Kelly. And I think it's right there in those three. Those three movies all have that, like Miracle in Lane 2 and Brink, I think have less that I'm like, take this out, but not as much of like what the cast brings. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine let's switch it, for instance, if Brink was about all female skaters and Hilary Duff was the lead and Christy Carlson Romano was the X-Blades, like that movie
that'd be a better movie.
Yeah. So
it would take the greatest movie of all time and make it greater.
But like part of me is like, this movie does a lot wrong, and so I want to have it lower. I do think there are 5 movies that are clearly better. 5, Halloween Town. 4, Phantom of the Megaplex. 3, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. 2, Johnny Tsunami. 1, Best DCOM by a mile
you
right
are
now.
Just
Motocross.
A spooky head.
Can I make one note on my list?
Go ahead.
As I was reading it, there was a part of it that just didn't feel right to me anymore.
You just changed it right now?
I did just change it
we
right now.
We
have a change, everybody. Late change.
I was reading it. It was too late to make the change in that moment, but I said it, and I was like, I don't like the way that feels.
Way to listen to your gut.
Xenon and Phantom have swapped. So Phantom is now 8 and Xenon is now 9.
Yeah, that's a good swap. Wow. I like that swap.
As I was reading the list, I was like, I feel like I'm lying to myself now. So
I have Xenon at 15. It's barely hanging on to top 15 for me right now. But I also, I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time I try to get Quince out of there, I just think of the performance, which is, in my opinion, still the best. Kimberly Brown, her scenes in that movie where she's like really going through the struggle of what it's like to feel left out by her own family. She crushes those scenes. That movie, I don't know if I want to watch again, but her scenes are just as good as we've had, including Hilary Duff. As good as we've had on a DCOM, her scenes have been it. So there's that.
Next week, grab some tissues.
Okay.
Grab a camcorder if you want to. Grab a hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
What's going on, guys?
It's true confessions. It's true confessions. I wasn't trying. I forgot.
Is everybody okay?
We'll be back next week. DCOM
Keep DCOMing it up, everybody. DCOM Descendants of Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray. Recorded live in, that Greenville, South Carolina, the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios. For more information, go to @DCOM Descendants on the socials, DCOMPodcast.com. To watch us watch these movies live, you can go to BrambleJamPlus.com.